Just ahead, Boston is on the line of short list of possible hosts for the 2028 Democratic National Convention.
And for Redline riders, we have the details on more expected delays.
And our sports correspondent, Emily Champagne, brings us our very first Good Morning Emerson Athlete of the Week.
All that and much more this morning, Thursday, March 5th on Good Morning Emerson. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Daniel Lipoff.
And I'm Samantha Bowen.
Spring break is almost here.
I know.
I'm very excited. Sam, do you have any fun plans?
I do have very fun plans. I'm headed to LA and then I'm headed to Texas.
Oh, wow.
So quite all over the place, but it'll be a really great time. What about you, Daniel?
I am taking a road trip with my friends to Montreal.
Very exciting.
I'm very excited. I'm going with our politics correspondent, Anthony Ciano.
Oh.
And speaking of our politics correspondent, Anthony Ciano, we'll hear from him now because he has the latest in politics this morning. Anthony.
Thank you, Daniel and Samantha. Boston is now moving one step closer to hosting the Democratic National Convention in 2028. A Monday announcement named Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, Denver, and Atlanta as one of the top 5 cities up for consideration. In the next few months, official representatives from the convention will inspect each city's proposed venues. For Boston, TD Garden would be where the convention is held, previously hosting the convention there in 2004. The convention will be held from August 7th to 10th in the final selected city. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem is doubling down on her argument that both Renee Good and Alex Preddy's death should be labeled domestic terrorist situations. Good and Preddy were both killed during recent immigration and customs enforcement raids in Minneapolis. When confronted Tuesday in front of senators from both political parties, Noem declined to take back her remarks about the two. Since the deaths of the two citizens, ICE presence in Minneapolis has remained high. The First Lady, Melania Trump, spoke to the United Nations Monday, advocating for peace through education. Her speech comes as her husband, President Donald Trump, continues to launch strikes back and forth with Iran. The First Lady also took the time to encourage other countries to hold on to the values of empathy, regardless of geography, religion, race, and gender. Public backlash over the speech comes as President Trump works to dismantle the Department of Education, while she, on the other hand, is promoting education. That's all I have for politics today, but Daniel has the updates on the conflict in the Middle East. Daniel?
Thanks, Anthony. And yes, I do. A Hingham native and her son are stuck in Qatar after Iran launched retaliatory strikes in response to the U.S. attack. Stacy Schuwerk and her son Tyler have been sheltering in place in the country since Saturday, but the attacks have closed the airspace and no one can get out. Schuwerk told Boston's Channel 7 about her struggles trying to leave the country, saying, "There's one bus from Doha to Riyadh on Sundays. It's a 7-hour bus through a barren desert with nothing, and we're hearing gas stations don't have gas. If our own government is telling us to leave here, let us know how to leave." As of this morning, several U.S. embassies in the Middle East are closed, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Lebanon, and Jordan. If you take the red line, you're in for some delays. The MBTA announcing new signal upgrades that will affect the entire red line from 8 p.m. until the end of service. A 2019 derailment caused massive damage to the signal equipment at Columbia Junction near the JFK UMass stop. Riders should expect a delay in travel and a decrease in the amount of trains after 8 p.m. until the end of April 2026. Changes will be implemented in 4 phases, each lasting 2 weeks. The first phase, which we're in now, only calls for the Braintree branch to have delays. Phase 2 will be the opposite. Ashmont trains will be delayed and Braintree ones won't. Phase 3 and 4 focuses on the area which the upgrades are happening near the JFK UMass stops. The T hopes these changes will bring a better experience for riders.
Boston police reported an adult and child were struck by a vehicle Tuesday evening in a Dorchester neighborhood. The crash occurred near the intersection of Mora and Washington Streets around 7 p.m. The victims of the incident were taken to local hospitals with minor injuries. Thankfully, with nothing life-threatening, the police stated that the driver remained at the scene. Further information is not available. For all you driving Bostonians, experts are saying that gas prices could rise by 10 to 30 cents per gallon, potentially exceeding $4 per gallon this spring. due to conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran escalating fast. President Trump says the U.S. Navy is ready to escort oil tankers through the Gulf if necessary, only after Iran threatened to block key shipping routes. Iraq's massive oil fields, including Ramallah, are shutting down as storage fills up and tankers struggle to move through the Strait of Hormuz. If supply continues to drop, Americans could soon feel it at the pump. Higher global crude oil prices means higher gas prices, pushing up the cost for shipping groceries, travel, and much more. The United States is trying to stabilize energy routes at the moment, but if the conflict escalates, explore more pressure on U.S. consumers.
Thank you, Sam. Well, after the break, our WEBN team gives us today's breaking news. Stay tuned.
Good Morning Emerson? What's that?
It's the best morning show ever.
Live for Good Morning Emerson.
Good morning, Emerson. Good morning, Emerson.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
We are so glad to be waking up with you all this morning.
Today, I'm out here in the sunny Boston Commons.
I'm here live at the State House on Election Day. Yeah, that's right, you heard it.
In more Disney news, Disney's battle with YouTube TV is not going as expected.
And right now we're going to go to Chloe Tebow with the latest political upheaval.
WEBN breaking news updates.
For today's weather forecast, hold on to your hat.
For the week ahead. So let's break down the forecast.
Now let's jump right into our top stories.
On all the day's top stories, Steve.
We are joined now by the dancers of EUDT's contemporary company.
We are here with the Emerson Ultimate Frisbee team. Welcome, guys.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
We're going to head straight down to the JPC, where our WEBN correspondent Lorena Rivera has the latest breaking news. Lorena.
Welcome to WEBN Breaking News. I'm Lorena Rivera, and here are today's top stories. Former Boston school bus driver faces charges for involuntary manslaughter after a crash that killed a kindergartner last April. The driver, Jean Charles, is also charged with reckless motor vehicle homicide and negligent motor vehicle homicide. The Brockton native struck the child on Washington Street in Hyde Park as children were being dropped in school. As the war enters its fifth day, Iran launched new attacks against Israel, warning the U.S. they will regret sinking their warship and calling for Trump's blood. Iran's attacks have targeted their Arab neighbors, disrupted oil supplies, and impacted global air travel. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed on the first days of strike, after Trump launched the war on Saturday. In the wake of the war, the GOP-led Senate on Wednesday rejected a resolution aimed at restricting President Trump's military action on Iran.
It's our decision what we believe is in the national security interest of the United States, and I do not believe it was in our national security interest to go to war with Iran.
The resolution calls for removing U.S. forces from hostilities in or against Iran until authorized by a declaration of war or a specific authorization for the use of military force. The House will vote on a similar resolution today. UK soccer player Chloe Kelly and Mexican NASCAR driver Regina Servant now have their own Barbies. Kelly plays for the British soccer club team Arsenal and reached the 2023 World Cup final with UK's national team in 2023. Servant was the first Mexican woman to compete in the NASCAR's clash. That's all I have for today breaking news. Do you have a favorite Barbie, Dana and Sam?
A favorite Barbie? That's hard to pick. I had so many Barbies when I was a kid, but my favorite was actually Barbie's sister, Skipper. She was definitely my favorite. I think I just resonated with her because I was also brunette, so I was like, that's my girl.
I wasn't that big of a Barbie kid
Okay.
when I was younger. I did see that they gave LeBron James a Ken Basseter doll, so I think I'm going to go with the LeBron James one.
Yeah, did you have a favorite?
Well, I had a favorite Barbie. It was the Barbie mermaid, Carmelia.
Yes.
But yeah, that was my favorite Barbie.
I think my sister likes that one.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, Lorena.
Well, we're going to head down to the Bobby Brown and Stephen Plofker gym, where our sports correspondent Emily Champagne has the latest for us. Emily.
Thank you, Daniel and Samantha. Qatar has postponed all soccer games until the foreseeable future following the increase of violence in the Middle East. The Qatar Football Association made the announcement Sunday, saying new dates will be shared in due course. Flights across the Middle East have been disrupted, with Qatar, Israel, and the UAE all closing their airspace. The big question now, will the Argentina versus Spain final still happen on March 27th? The match, set to feature Lionel Messi, is reportedly still up in the air, though there's been no official word of a cancellation. The New England Patriots are cutting ties with their wide receiver, Stephon Diggs. The team informed the 32-year-old on Wednesday that he will be released when the new NFL league year kicks off on March 11th. The move allows New England to avoid triggering a $6 million option in his contract that will become fully guaranteed this coming Friday. Diggs had a standout 2025 season, hauling in 85 catches for 1,013 yards and 4 touchdowns as Drake May's top target, even helping the Patriots reach the Super Bowl. The Patriots now face a major hole at wide receiver, looking to potentially grab Eagles' A.J. Brown. The UConn women's basketball team have done it again, going a perfect 31-0 on the regular season after defeating St. John's last Sunday. This marks the 11th time in program history they've entered tournament play undefeated. With the absence of Paige Becker's, sophomore Sarah Strong has stepped up as the new face of the program, averaging 19 points. UConn is the defending national champion and enters the Big East as the heavy favorite. With the tourney being held just 30 miles from campus, March is Husky season, and it is on. And meet Laura Lovell, the sophomore attack on the women's lacrosse team, and your Emerson Athlete of the Week. The 5'5" Norwalk, Connecticut native wears number 3 and is studying visual media arts here at Emerson. Lovell made an immediate impact in her freshman season in 2025, proving herself as a reliable scoring threat for the Lions. She notched 2 goals in a 17-14 win over UMass Boston and contributed consistently throughout the year, including a clutch unassisted goal in the home opener against Gordon. Lovell plays under head coach Jesse Kaufman as part of the currently undefeated NewMax squad, going 3-0 throughout the 2026 season so far. Now in her sophomore year, she is set to be an even bigger part of the Lions' offensive attack. She's racked up the most goals on the team so far, with 5 against Curry, 3 against Simmons, and 2 on UMass Boston. That's all I have for sports news today. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Emily Champagne.
Emily.
Well, big congrats to Laura Lovell. I love that.
Yeah.
The recognition. That's awesome.
Oh my God, she's an amazing player. So all of them are really great on our team. Everyone shows up and they work so hard, and it really shows because we're 3-0.
Yeah, I was going to say the team now is awesome.
Oh
undefeated.
Undefeated. It feels amazing to just go out there and have this kind of confidence, but also know like these group of girls do not give up, and that really shows.
Yeah. Well, we're going to head to a quick commercial break, but when we return,
rumors are flying around Tom Holland and Zendaya. Our entertainment correspondent has the story.
And our field correspondent Anderson Free takes us to last night's Celtics game at TD Garden.
All that and much more when we come back.
Just stay where you are.
Back to Good Morning Emerson. Rumors are flying around.
I know.
Tom Holland and Zendaya.
I know. It's
also known as Tom Daya.
I'm very excited. I have been a fan of them for a very long time, and I love how private they are. I just think it adds to like that little suspense rumor.
I saw the interview, and he was like, you missed it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. What do you mean we missed it?
Like,
give us something more. Well, good thing our entertainment correspondent, Gary Valdivieso, has the updates on Tom Holland and Zendaya for us. Gary?
Thank you, Samantha and Daniel. Longtime stylist Law Roach claims that actors Zendaya and Tom Holland have secretly tied the knot. Speaking on the red carpet at the 2026 SAG Actor Awards, Roach told reporters, "The wedding has happened already. You missed it," suggesting the couple married privately without fanfare. Neither Zendaya nor Holland have publicly confirmed the claim, but it builds on earlier engagement speculation that began when Zendaya was spotted with a diamond ring at the 2025 Golden Globes. Actor Shia LaBeouf is speaking out in a candid interview following his arrest during Mardi Gras in New Orleans. Law enforcement and insiders paint a picture of ongoing personal challenges tied to a bar brawl and subsequent misdemeanor charges. In the interview, LaBeouf acknowledged his role in the incident and said he is working on his behavior, but rejected the notion that rehab is the answer, instead describing his issues as rooted in anger and ego. He admitted mistakes and said he'll deal with that, but stopped short of embracing traditional treatment. Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs will now be released from federal prison earlier than expected. According to Federal Bureau of Prison records, the release date has been moved up to April 25, 2028, nearly 6 weeks ahead of the previous listed June 4 date. Combs is serving a 50-month sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution at Fort Dix in New Jersey after his 2025 conviction of 2 counts of transportation for prostitution, though he was acquitted of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. That's all I have for entertainment news this week. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Gary Valdivieso.
Thank you so much, Gary. In more entertainment news, pop star Justin Timberlake is headed back to court. But this time, he is fighting to keep the police body camera footage from his 2024 drunk driving arrest out of the public eye. The singer has filed a lawsuit in New York against the village of the Sag Harbor and their police department to block the video release from his arrest in the Hamptons. Timberlake pleaded guilty to impaired driving in September 2024 after police said he ran a stop sign and veered out of his lane. His charge was reduced to a non-criminal violation and fined $500 following a 90-day license suspension and community service. Timberlake said that making it public would devastate his privacy and cause what his legal team calls severe and irreparable harm to his reputation. According to court documents, the video captures sobriety tests, the arrest itself, and several hours of post-arrest detention. A hearing was held Monday in Riverhead where Judge Joseph Fernardi declined to rule immediately and urged both sides to seek a resolution. Roughly 8 hours of body cam footage has been requested by several media outlets, while the Sag Harbor's mayor says officials are reviewing the video and the judge's upcoming decision will determine if the footage will be public.
A pocket-sized owl was healing at a Cape Ann wildlife sanctuary after a resident found it in their driveway. The owl was taken to New House Wildlife Rescue in Chelmsford, then transferred to Cape Ann Wildlife in Gloucester for treatment. The owl suffered 2 broken bones in its wings. The saw-whet owl species is the smallest here in New England, only measuring 7 to 8 inches in length and barely weighing half a pound. Cape Ann Wildlife posted a photo on their Facebook next to a banana showing it in scale of how small it actually is. There's still no word yet on when the owl will be fully healed and able to fly.
Thank you, Daniel. We are now going to hear from our field correspondent, Anderson Free, with coverage of last night's Celtics game. Anderson?
Thank you, Sam and Daniel. I'm standing outside the TD Garden. The Boston Celtics are about to take on the Charlotte Hornets. With the Celtics doing so well in looking playoff bound, there's even rumors of whether or not a certain Celtics superstar will return to the lineup anytime soon.
The Celtics have definitely exceeded everyone's expectations this season, as when Jason Tatum went down with an Achilles injury in last year's playoff series against the New York Knicks, many assumed that 2026 would be a rebuilding year for the team. However, they have instead flourished into one of the NBA's best teams and even improved on their roster at the trade deadline as they acquired two-time All-Star Nikola Vucevic from the Chicago Bulls. We asked fans who is responsible for the success of the team this year.
The whole team. Defensive player of the month, Derek White, as well as MVP candidate Jaylen Brown. I mean, look at it. Without MVP candidate last year, All-Stars MVP Jaylen Brown carrying the team 30 points a game. No problem.
I mean, I really think it's everything. Jaylen Brown has stepped up into the lead role, but everyone else has too, like Peyton Pritchard and Hugo Gonzalez, all them.
I mean, yeah, I think if they're just doing really well, so kind of like a rounded team more. Before they see him as the surefire star, kind of work more together now. That's how I see it.
With the Boston Celtics getting playoff ready and playoffs only a month away, let's hope Jason Tatum this season can make a triumphant return to the Celtics squad. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Anderson 3. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Anderson.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, Milk Crate joins us for a sit-down interview.
I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
What? Oh, okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
Hi, I'm Mary Malloy, the host of Speechless, and you're watching the Emerson Channel.
Yeah, Jackie, I get that you're back.
Oh, gotta go. Hey you're the first real gamer I've seen all morning. Check this out. Super Gamers Weekly on Freebie. Wow.
What's this one?
Oh, this is, Critical Damage on Emerson Channel. Here, look at these radical colors.
Wow, Crit's got real gamers.
Hey, over here.
I like Critical Damage, and it broadcasts live.
Kids, this show there.
I'll watch Critical Damage on M-Chan.
I knew you'd say that.
Critical Damage. More action, more laughs. By gamers, for gamers. Only on the Emerson Channel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
We are here with WECB's Milk Crate.
Well, welcome, guys. Could you go and introduce yourself for us?
Yeah. My name is Christian. I'm the co-editor-in-chief of Milk Crate.
I'm Heather. I'm a writer for Milk Crate.
I'm Diego. I am head of design for Milk Crate.
Awesome. And can you tell us what Milk Crate does?
Yeah, so Milk Crate is 1/3 of WECB. WECB is Emerson's Underground Sound of Emerson. And we are the publication. So we do all things like interviews, concert reviews, album reviews, and then as you can see here, we also have our semesterly print zines as well.
I've always wondered, how did the name Milk Crate come about?
Yeah, so I'm not actually sure about the history of why they chose Milk Crate itself, but it comes from the music practice of if you're ever in a record store and there's a bin with all the old picks, it's always in a milk crate.
I know what you're
so that's kind of the idea.
I really love that. Can you talk to us about the design that you produce?
Yeah, so every semester we do a zine. Usually they're a little bit smaller, and this past semester we wanted to do something a little bit bigger. And so we ask our writers, our designers to come up with an idea that relates to a certain theme. So this semester we decided to go with slant, which was kind of looking at post-irony in the music landscape. And people can take that however they want. They'll pitch something, we'll assign an editor, a designer, and then it all kind of comes together into a fun reading experience, I would say.
Okay, this is a question for the three of you. If you were trying to convince someone to join Milk Crate, but you only had a sentence to do it, how would you do it?
I would say that I love Milk Crate a lot. It's my favorite organization that I'm a part of on campus, actually, but it's a really awesome way to get involved with other music lovers, and every week in our meetings we bond over what we've been listening to, recent releases, so it's really great community building. Yeah, and I belong there, so I really love it.
Yeah. And I feel like everyone, or most people I know, have a piece of music or an album or something that they could talk for hours about or that they just really love, and Milk Crate is a great opportunity to be able to write about it and make a design for it, and just appreciate whatever music that you're really into. And
yeah, like I would say if you have a niche subject area in music that other people might not appreciate, Milk Crate will appreciate that. So.
Yeah. And what is it like working with WECB on bringing your creativity to life?
Yeah, I think on the one hand, there's getting a chance to like write about the things that are really important to you. So the albums and the concerts that you've seen of like some of your favorite artists, that always feels really cool to investigate that on a deeper level. But also it's kind of an exciting opportunity to challenge yourself, I think, to write about things you otherwise wouldn't have written about, and to try new styles of writing. But at least that's, I would say, for my experience.
Yeah, we actually created a new weekly crate digging pick, so that allows us to look at older records that might not be getting as much attention nowadays, and so that's a really awesome way to like get involved with music history, which is really cool.
Yeah. And even if you're not the biggest writer, or maybe you're more of a designer and editor, like there is a place for you at Milk Crate, and we need all the help we can get. So yeah, just if you're interested in making a design, if you just want to edit someone else's piece, or if you want to write your own, like come on down and join. Yeah.
Is there a certain music genre or subject you guys cater to, or is it anything under the sun?
It's really everything. Yeah, it's really everything. Everybody's got their niches, but I think one of the great things too is there's so much like discovery that happens. Like I always walk away from our staff meetings with like 10 at least new songs to listen to.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about the meetings, I think, is hearing about all of these niche songs that I never would have listened to myself. Personally, I write a lot about rock and roll, so it's interesting to like expand my horizons through what other people are listening to as well.
Yeah.
That's great. And how can other folks on campus get involved?
I would say start by following us on Instagram. We are milkcrate.wcb. And every semester, at the very beginning of the semester, we'll post our hiring form. You can apply for editor, writer, designer, all 3 positions. We also love photographers. And we'll sit down, have an interview, talk music, and go from there.
Well, my last question was going to be how can we find you on social media, but you answered it for us.
Yeah, but definitely tell us maybe what your favorite artist is, like that you've come across, your new favorite artist due to Milk Crate.
I think the more that I've because I feel like being in the organization, it makes you think very deeply about the things that you're writing about, and so it was just kind of an artist that I had been interested in the past couple months, but I think like the more that I've been kind of engaging with like music critique, I've liked them even more. Dismemberment Plan is what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, Geese has gotten really popular recently, and I had actually never heard of them before people in our staff meetings were talking about it, so that's a new artist that I've been listening to, thanks to Milk Crate.
I would say Poison Girlfriend. I've loved her since high school, but I did a concert review for Milk Crate. It was one of my first pieces, and she reposted it on her Instagram. So that's what can happen if you write for Milk Crate.
We'll definitely have to check some of these people out.
Well, that's all we have for you this morning. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Daniel Lipoff.
And I'm Samantha Bowen. Thanks for waking up with us.